It was really I think their goal. I'm not going to say that we were just shooting bad and not give him any credit. He made some saves and I thought played pretty well, and we didn't shoot as well as I thought we normally would, especially early in the game, and they were. I mean, they shot very well.
Up next on the bench, everything goes well for SU men's lacrosse. Well, except when it goes away from the Carrier Dome, apparently. We'll recap the Orange's final matchups before the ACC tournament.
Yeah, Tim, Coach Desko not happy about the performance in Chapel Hill. We'll take a look. Also coming out, it's finally sunny in Syracuse, and the women's softball team able to hit the field. We'll have those highlights coming up on the bench.
Some great shots of SU men's lacrosse as we welcome you into the Citrus TV studios for this edition of On the Bench. I'm Tim Langlois. He's Jay Alter. Jay, long way to go in this show tonight.
Oh yeah, and a long way to go if you're SU men's lacrosse, Tim. I mean, this was a team that was #1 in the country, looking good. They entered the week #2 in the country, an opportunity to lock up that 2 seed in conference play. Standing in the way was UNC. Let's head down to Fetzer Field. A huge boost coming into the game, Tim. Randy Stott's back in the lineup. You see number 45 right there after 3 weeks out with a lower body injury. Stott's added to the first line attack, but that didn't do Syracuse any favors getting started. 5-0 lead UNC jumped out to. This is what Syracuse has struggled with, getting down in deep holes, but Scooney trying to get Syracuse back in it. That cuts it to 3, 5-2, a lightning rod from the senior. Then UNC pounds right back, going punch for punch with SU in this first half. Chad Tutton scores right before intermission, 10-6 UNC at the break, and then the Tar Heels pick up where they left off. That made it 14-7 UNC, a touchdown score. Tom Grimm leading this Syracuse comeback charge. The senior captain cuts it to 2, 150 left. SU with a chance. They were down and forgotten in this game. An opportunity to win it on the EMO. No. UNC with the caused turnover. Tar Heels celebrate. They are the #2 seed in the ACC tournament. Syracuse falls all the way down to #3. This is a team that many thought would run away with this conference the way they were looking at earlier in the season. Now, another road loss. You know, the double overtime one to Notre Dame. Now 17-15 to UNC. Dylan Donahue, though, continuing to score for this SU team. 5 goals for the redshirt junior. And to tell us more, let's send it to Marcus White.
On Saturday, #2 Syracuse fell to #4 North Carolina, 17-15 at Fetzer Field. The big difference in this one was the play between the pipes, as Syracuse goaltenders Bobby Wardwell and Warren Hill combined for 8 saves, while UNC goalie Kieran Burke had 14.
They were shooting the ball really well. We didn't see Bob make any saves. I don't think he was doing anything terrible. He was moving a stick to where the ball was. I don't think that he wasn't not seeing it, but again, when they're going 95 miles an hour, they're hard to stop.
I think I did okay, but obviously could have did a lot better, and they're really good shooters, and I just tried my best to keep the ball in it. My clearing could have been a lot better today, and communication.
They made their shots and we didn't make ours, and I think the difference too, their goalie made some great saves.
It was unfortunate that we hit, I think, 5 or 6 pipes in the beginning of the game. And, the goalie really wasn't seeing it at first, but Kieran's a great goalie, and their defense is, they play schemes, and they played us well. Hopefully we see them again, and I think we're going to finish those opportunities.
Reporting from Fetzer Field in North Carolina, Marcus White, Citrus TV.
Now, after that trip to the area they call the Triangle, SU lacrosse made a return trip to the Salt City on short rest to take on a team they face annually for the Kraus-Simmons Trophy. The Orange knocked off the Statesmen last season, but Syracuse should have been on high alert for an upset because Hobart did pull off the shocker the last time these two teams met in the Carrier Dome. Let's check out how it went down inside the dome. Syracuse and Hobart, well, there's not much suspense, but it was senior night in the Carrier Dome, honoring the seniors before this one. But like I said, not a lot of suspense to go down here. Dylan Donahue, the first goal of the game, but it's his 100th career goal. What an achievement for him. Moving on later in the second quarter now, you go to Kevin Rice. He scores, puts SU up 6-0. Well, look at this, Hobart, even when they try to do something on getting the ball into the offensive end, they can't.
Woof.
Taken away by Dylan Donahue, number 38 for the season for him. 7-0 Cuse, a touchdown lead. And Syracuse just pouring it on. Randy Stotts right in front, his first goal since he returned from injury. 8-0 Cuse in the second quarter. And everyone, really, Jay, getting it on the act.
They say that this is Hobart's Super Bowl. This is not how I would expect a team to play in the Super Bowl.
Maybe for the Broncos, because that's what it looked like in this one. Syracuse was up 12-0 at the half. They went on to win it 18-5 over Hobart. Randy Stotts ended up on the night with 4 goals. How about that in just his second game back from injury? And Syracuse really pretty much winning all those Kraus-Simmons trophies. 27 now of 30. Let's head to Citrus TV's Kevin Case, who has more on this matchup.
In their final regular season game walking the Carrier Dome sidelines, the Syracuse seniors made sure to go out on top. 6 seniors got on the score sheet on senior night, and the Orange hammered Hobart to take home the Kraus-Simmons trophy.
And I thought our guys came out excited to play. We got through a little bit of senioritis in the first part of the first quarter, and I think our guys came alive and did what we wanted to do tonight in all facets of the game.
It's kind of sad in a way that your last regular season game here in the Carrier Dome. It's unreal playing in this building, and just tough that it's your last regular season game, but it's good.
Well, I find myself feeling similar every year. That you had guys that have been with you 4 and 5 years, and they have a special place. It's too soon really for me to think about it. I want to play a bunch more games here with these guys, and we'll reminisce afterwards.
SU now has more than a week to prepare for the ACC tournament. The Orange will take on the loser of this weekend's matchup between North Carolina and Notre Dame in the semifinals. Reporting from the Carrier Dome, Kevin Case, Citrus TV.
Thanks, Kevin. Should be a fun one in Philly 2 weekends from now, but we'll put lacrosse in the rearview mirror coming up on the bench. It's softball when we get back. A beautiful sunny weekend for the Cuse. See how they fared on the other side.
Welcome to Orange Press Pass.
Orange Press Pass is your ticket inside the Syracuse locker room. Hear from the coaches.
We got some open looks from the perimeter
and players.
Well, I saw pressure coming from the backside.
Get in-depth analysis, reports on site, and more.
Let's go on OPP.
Orange Press Pass, live after every Syracuse game.
Watch Citrus TV Noticias at 3 p.m. every Sunday on the Orange Television Network.
Hola, welcome back here on the bench. We just mentioned men's lacrosse, but let's shift over to the women's side. The Orange also took on North Carolina last weekend in Chapel Hill. The Gary Gates squad has been slumping coming into the matchup, having lost 3 of its last 4. Granted, all those losses were to top ACC teams, but still, the Orange looked to return to winning ways against the Tar Heels. Let's check out how they did. And oof, that's not what you like to see from Gary Gates squad, not what you're used to seeing.
Tim, a way to
team.
fix this. Gary Gate goes to Party City, buys a ponytail, wears his number 22, gets in on the action. That's the only way this team comes back.
I think you're right. Wasn't even close. This game took place earlier in the day before the men's matchup. 15-8 was the final score as Syracuse now has lost 4 of its last 5 matchups. Let's head to Andrew Morris, who's with Jay.
And now taking a look at my watch, it's Andrew Morris time here on the bench. He's our beat reporter for Citrus TV and the women's lacrosse team. Andrew, we just took a look at it. A tough loss down in UNC, drops the Cuse to 2-5 in conference play. But what really stood out in the loss against the Tar Heels?
Well, they did play a good team. The Tar Heels are a very good lacrosse squad. And I think what we saw in the loss is kind of what we've been seeing in these past few losses here in the middle of the season. A lot of turnovers and a lot of mistakes. And Coach Gate has emphasized the lack of focus and the lack of confidence from them.
And Andrew, this is a team that's only 1 year removed from a national championship appearance. And now, really, another tough loss. The season's kind of slipping out of their grasp a little bit. But what have been some of the brighter spots this season for Gary Gates' squad?
Well, when you talk about, the kind of difficulties they've been having this year, they do have a very tough schedule. They have a top 5 ranked RPI schedule this year, and most of their losses, actually 5 out of those 6 losses that you talked about, have been top 5, top 10 teams. One of the brighter spots, like you said, has been Taylor Gate. And she hasn't played in 2013. She didn't play in 2014 due to injury. And Coach's daughter coming on strong. Now tied for 3rd on the team in goals, having a great year from Taylor Gate.
Individually for Taylor Gate, having a very successful season, but overall a pretty down year when you take a look at the record, especially in conference. What's been the main cause of that?
Well, and like I said, I think Gary Gate has been kind of emphasizing the lack of confidence. And when they go up to a free position shot, they haven't been converting. They just haven't been converting in free position shots, and a lot of turnovers, as we've seen in those losses.
Okay, Andrew, let's get to the burning question. What's on the lips of every SU women's lacrosse fan. How far do you see the Orange getting this season in postseason play?
Well, it's a very tough ACC, and when you bring Northwestern into the mix, and I think they can do well. They really need to show us something here in these next couple of weeks, and they really need to start building momentum. It's crunch time, so they really need to start building momentum if they're going to want to take down Maryland and they're going to want to take down UNC. They've had some tough losses on the road, and I think if they, take a fresh start into postseason, I think they could give it a shot at the national championship.
Some signs of spring finally here in Syracuse as SU softball action took place at Skytop Softball Stadium. Must feel good to a team that started its season in early February and didn't play at home until April 3rd. But coming into last weekend's 3-game set against Pittsburgh, the Orange was 1-7 in ACC games, and they look to change that. So let's play 2 down at Skytop Softball Stadium. Syracuse and Pittsburgh. The first matchup, though, didn't go well, but here's a bright spot for Syracuse. Mary Dombrowski, a 3-run homer to left center. So some bright spots.
That's a bomb. That's a bomb. And Dombrowski, she's the go-to. More from her later.
Well, here's a nice play in the field from Sammy Fernandez. Makes a nice stop, and again, Syracuse would have struggles. Jocelyn Cater, an infield single, just beat it out.
Look at the hustle. That's what I care about, Tim.
There is heart.
Throw away the scoreboard. Look at that.
A line shot to left field by Sammy Fernandez. She did it in the field, then she's doing it with the bat. Here's Sydney O'Hara, though, lining into the double play, and that's what Syracuse faced a lot of. Here's Shelby Pickett, singles to left field.
Oh, E7 in your scores book, folks.
Yeah, and coming around to score is Corrine Oze, or rather, Erin Hirschman.
That's an unearned run. That's what that is.
It is a strikeout, though, from Lindsey Larkin. Syracuse, though, would fall 2 times and big time in that second game. A 22 spot put up by the Panthers.
That is a long day.
And I mentioned that Syracuse was 1-7 in ACC games going into that day. That made them 1-9, but there was still one more to be played.
22-7. That looks like a football score on the softball field. Rough going. Okay, so after a 22-7 loss, I had to change the tie. I mean, come on. And the women's lacrosse team loss. Hopefully bringing some luck to this third game. Avoid the sweep. Let's hit the field. Syracuse softball. Don't get your broomsticks. I have faith in the ladies. Oh, it's beautiful, Sonny. They changed the uniforms. Just throw them out after the loss. And it's working. Syracuse off to a hot start. There's your girl Dombrowski. A single to left field. Gets it started 1-0. I got good vibrations about this, Timmy.
Well, I wasn't there, but it just looks so nice.
Oh, that also looks nice. Michaela Taylor, 3-run shot, going yard, Pitt up 3-1. But Dombrowski steps to the plate. Oh, that's good wood. Well, except for it's a metal bat. Still a home run. It counts the same. Goodbye, home run. Dombrowski puts SU up 5-4. Orange in the driver's seat, looking to avoid this sweep. But Pitt, off the glove. What's the call there? Hitter safe. Oh no, and then Pitt storms back. 7-5 Pitt, and the Panthers go on to win. Tragedy at the softball stadium. That's a sweep, folks. 10-7, game 3. Hey, at least it's sunny and this team's playing at home, right, Tim?
What a big swing, too. 1-7 in the ACC going into that 3 game. If they were to sweep it, it would be 4-7, not too bad. The other way, just piling on for Syracuse.
Dan Dockage not happy.
Syracuse softball was swept by Pittsburgh this weekend in a 3-game series. The team lost 10-7 on Sunday, but the team felt that they made a lot of progress throughout the weekend.
ACC tournaments, series play, always is a little bit different mindset, and I think yesterday we came out, we were a little scared, maybe a little nervous about what we were doing. Today I think we knew what we were going to do. I came in wanting to win more than anything, and I think that just kind of changes mindsets for people.
We've been in a lot of close games. We're a good team. That's what I told them out there. Imagine when we pull this all together. Imagine how good we're going to be. But you have to keep that attitude, that mentality, or why play anymore? So we know once we pull this all together, and we're still learning and growing, and we're still young, we know that there's going to be good things that happen. But it's about when are we going to pull it all together now, guys? Let's make that happen sooner than later.
Syracuse will face Niagara on Wednesday in a doubleheader before heading to South Bend to face ACC rivals Notre Dame. Reporting from Syracuse Softball Stadium, I'm Ariel Epstein, Citrus TV.
Good stuff, Ariel. Coming up next on the bench, we break out the tennis rackets and the tracksuits. You got yours, Jay?
Now, why can't they go outside like the softball team?
Yeah, they get stuck.
Beautiful weather this week.
Stuck indoors.
Come on.
Drumlin's Tennis Center. Stick around on the bench back in 9.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to another episode of Syracuse Unpeeled. I'm Cassie DeLaura, and joining me to my left is Miss Alex O'Toole, Haley Schluter, Jacob Friesen-Grant, Drew Brown, and Hugh Pringle, hosts of Z89's The Juice. Here with me is Sage Cruisefield.
It's a neon pink water bottle filled with Legos. I lied!
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back here on the bench. I promised tennis rackets before the break, and I'm a bad person because we don't have rackets
Only
right
this
now.
pen. I can't hit much with this.
Only that pen, that won't do it. And the folks who do have them, though, were down at Wake Forest this past weekend, which seemed to be a trend last weekend, traveling down to North Carolina. Let's check out how the SU tennis team fared down at Wake Forest. Unfortunately, though, for them, a loss. 4-3 was the final. And in Syracuse, they forced 4 tiebreakers on the day, but overall, it was not what they wanted to see, and things hadn't been going well for SU tennis, so the struggles continue. 4-3 down in Winston-Salem.
Tim, you mentioned traveling down to North Carolina was a theme for the weekend. So was losing. We just saw the tennis team lose. You had men's lacrosse, you had women's lacrosse. Surely SU tennis on their second match of the weekend was going to put SU in its winning ways. Let's see how the Orange did in Virginia Tech. You got to be kidding me. 7-0. Not even a game. Well, Blacksburg, you know, always tough, hostile environment down there on the tennis courts. Butler defeating Mitchell in just a heartbreaking 3-game affair. 10-8, brutal. That's backbreaking, Tim. Just absolutely backbreaking.
Backbreaking, but now let's head for the triple header. Let's try for, moving away from tennis though, let's go to track. And Syracuse has been doing well in track. They head down to Miami at the Invitational there this past weekend. Let's check out how they did there. And for Syracuse, some standouts. How about this?
Oh.
First place for Regine Hunter in the triple jump. Jay, can you triple jump?
Yeah, sure. Here we go.
We're trying that here in the studio, but Jabari Butler as well, the high jump taken fourth, and a pair of seconds in the hurdles. Freddie Critterton with second place there, and Rebecca Robinson with second place in the 400 meters. So Syracuse standing out in track, doing it all.
All right, we got to dock this puppy. Just slide her right in, and we will get you back on the other side. Web promo, always entertaining. And also, you don't want to miss this, the play of the week. Look at what Dylan Donahue's doing against Hobart. All that coming up at the end.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Welcome back here on the bench.
Well, Tim, you know I have many long, stressful days.
Of course.
Where all I need to do is just pour myself my special late night drink.
Oh boy.
Then I call our beautiful associate producer, Andrew Morris. Get ready for a bedtime story. Cue up my laptop. And you know where I go, Tim.
Well, I go to citrustv.net, and you can check us out multiple ways. citrustv.net, for one, you can go to Facebook, facebook.com/citrustvsports. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Citrus TV Sports as well. And the YouTube channel, you can't forget that, youtube.com/CitrusTV youtube.com/CitrusTV.
And actually getting serious for a second, huge men's lacrosse weekend coming up. They're the 3 seed in the ACC tournament, and we will have your coverage exclusive for us on Citrus TV Sports. Live updates from those great games. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely, and looking forward to these tweets of the week that we have for you, as they're always good. We always have some good ones. Last week we had a great edition of that, and this week it's another good one as well. Our crew was down at North Carolina covering Syracuse and UNC, and they were taking the sunglasses to a whole new level in that photo there.
What a good-looking
Gabriella
crew.
Rusk, host of Cuse Countdown, and
brought the good weather with them too.
They did.
They brought the 70s
And I
back
thank
here
them
to
for that.
Syracuse. Also, Fab Mello, that's a throwback name for you. I guess he's in Puerto Rico, hopefully playing basketball. If not, drinking margaritas, totally, that's a lifestyle choice. I'm not here to judge.
And staying with SU basketball, but not of the past, of the future. Tyler Lydon, SU basketball recruit for next year, saying that they're ready for next year, and that Cuse better be ready.
And tagging some of the other recruits
Malachi
in
Richardson
also.
as well.
I'm getting excited. Look, Syracuse didn't land Thomas Bryant. No problemo. I like the spirit that they're bringing to this recruiting class.
Absolutely, and it's a good recruiting class coming in, ranked one of the best in the country. Now let's take a look at moving back to sports going on right now. SU lacrosse is part of our play of the week.
Oh yeah, and we're taking an extended look at this, Tim.
Right.
Let's cue her up. I'm very excited about this because look, we run through the highlights so fast. We're going to get a good look
It's
at
tough
this.
to see it. They go by
Dylan
quick.
Donahue. Look, okay, quick goal. Let's rewind this puppy. This guy is an attacker, and look at him doing it on the defensive end. Syracuse known for their tenacious ride, and then look at the space, Tim. I mean, geez, I think you could put this one away. Goalie out of position too.
The main thing that confused me here was the orange. Hobart wearing the orange.
I'm with you. Bizarre.
And you're wearing
Very
almost the
bizarre.
same color. At first, I thought it was a scrimmage.
Well, these are the orange chairs. So are these the Hobart chairs?
The Hobart
then?
chairs.
All right.
They're being renamed. But that's pretty much.
Well, hey, Dylan Donahue, hats off, and best of luck to the SU men's lacrosse team as they really ramp it up down into postseason play here.
And they're heading into the ACC tournament. That should be fun against either North Carolina or Notre Dame. Either one is a terrific matchup.
Who's your money on?
At
the matchup, meaning they'll lose. Because remember, Syracuse gets the loser of that game.
I think they'd rather play North Carolina. I think a
little revenge.
Yeah, I think a little revenge. You scored more on them. Just got to stop them. And
we'll see.
A tough decision for one decision. Desco could have been criticized for. It was maybe pulling Wardwell.
Well, we'll see what happens.
That's all the time we have here on the bench. For Jay Alter, I'm Tim Langlois. Enjoy your images of the week.
Everything changes.